The 2019 Red Mountain Cab. You know, has any appellation done a better job marketing themselves than Red Mountain?
Yeah, it's certainly one of the highest sought after appellations, you know, very small and now almost completely planted, it seems like, in the past 15 years.
Clipson, Red Mountain Vineyard, and now Kiona for the first time coming into play here as well. What is it about Red Mountain that distinguishes itself from other appellations?
Well, it's a lot of different things to add up to a really unique site. You know, you have almost the entire mountain is facing south and southwest. You get some of that great Washington, long days, sunshine, heat. You know, Cabernet just loves heat.
Right.
And you also have these, you know, moderately poor soils where the vine struggles and you know, it has to dig down deep to get that water and nutrients, and I just think you get a lot more complexity here.
Yeah, those grapes really struggle on that hillside. Lots of wind too.
Absolutely.
But and it's probably the hottest appellation in the state there too, or one of them.
One of the top, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, one of the hottest appellations, and now it's one of the historic appellations. You know, planted in the early '70s originally with the Williams brothers, and
Jim Holmes.
And Jim Holmes, you know, and so there's just a lot of history there and a lot of, you know, generational knowledge and experience about what really works up there.
Yeah. Well, what's worked for us and for our club members is our Red Mountain Cab, and you know, it's one of these wines. It's the one we make the least of. There's only about 225 cases here in the 2019 vintage, unfortunately. But yeah, we're super excited about this wine. Let's see what we taste in the glass here. I mean, what are some of the flavor profiles you're getting here in this glass?
Well, I'm definitely getting kind of that, you know, black raspberry, black cherry, you know, kind of red fruits, but on the darker end of red fruits. Definitely fresh herbs, which I really get commonly on Red Mountain, like wild desert sage. And then I think there's kind of this cocoa note, you know, from you know, this wine sees a fair amount of new oak, about 80%.
Yeah.
Really, because of that tannic structure and because of the concentration of fruit, we can, it holds a lot more new oak and really shows nicely with that.
And why is it that some vineyards or some fruit from Red Mountain can hold up to new French oak, and maybe some other appellations it doesn't as much? Is that basically the yield that they pick the fruit, or is it just, you know, how old the vineyard is? Why does Red Mountain Cabernet hold up to new French oak? Yeah,
it's a good question, and you know, I mean, in some level, we kind of can theorize, but in the end, it's because it does, right? And because we've done it for years and we know. But you know, I think it's just that concentration. So the fruit is bold enough to hang with it. Because when we taste a wine that's over oaked, I think it's not always that it's over oaked; it's that it's under fruited. And so when you get that concentration and tannic structure, it's just the oak creates kind of framework for that, and more of a rich texture that brings to the wine. Yeah.
Well, there's just this unique terroir to Red Mountain. It's like you taste it like, oh, that's Red Mountain. What is that? I mean, how do I know this is Red Mountain every time I taste it? It's different than the other appellations in the state.
It is, and I think when I think of the appellations, I think of overall fruit character, which with some of our other Cabernets is more blue fruits and black fruits. On Red Mountain, it's not named because of the red fruit, but that's what I constantly get, is that kind of dark, like plums, black cherries, you know, reddish fruits. The other thing is the tannic structure in Red Mountain is notable because of the wind that we mentioned. Makes the skins tougher, and that's where the tannins are. And so, you know, you have this darker color, you have more tannin, and that's kind of what Red Mountain is known for too. Those firm tannins, but in the best sites and properly ripened, you know, they're strong, but they're fine. So they're not something that's really grippy on the palate.
Yeah, and that's what I get here. I certainly taste these tannins, and those certainly soften over time. But you know, I think one of your signatures as one of the best winemakers here in Washington State is your touch of restraint. How do you manage these tannins from a site like Red Mountain, like you do? Because this is different than a lot of Red Mountain cabs out there.
Well, we can't go into too many details, right? But really, it's just kind of all done on the palate. You know, we use some amount of native yeast fermentation, so we don't add commercial yeast to all of the fruit, and that tends to give kind of this more glycerol in the mouthfeel, so more kind of a softer mouthfeel. But even though it's just hiding the tannins, they're still there. And I think some amount of that helps to soften the tannins. We also don't probably ferment as hot as some places, so you're not getting at those warm temperatures and extracting those tannins, over-extracting them. Right?
Gotcha.
And then, the new oak does, certain new oak, well-chosen new oak, some can add tannin or create firm tannins, but I think there's some barrels that we've found and some barrel toast levels that help mitigate that.
Right. Well, the barrel sample score from Jeb Dunnick, 95 to 97, that's a great score for us. And, again, this Red Mountain cab, I feel like within our club has just gotten more and more popular over the years. And it's been a great addition to our lineup since 2014. And again, I think you have the barrel program dialed in, and we're just really proud of this wine and can't wait for all of you to taste it. Cheers.
Cheers.